Okay, guys. So let me turn on this video for the screen. This is a version of the spreadsheet that you're each going to get your own named copy of the spreadsheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to take literally, I'm going to freeze this first row. Sorry, such an exciting call. And you're going to get whatever, 100 of these, something like that. And that's going to be your spreadsheet with 100 names. And all you got to do, I don't care if you use batch leads, I don't care if you use your own phone number, you're going in, who talked to? Well, it's you. So whoever. Number of attempts, total number of times you've tried to reach. When did you last talk? And your notes. That's it. So you go in here to David Zipko about this property in Nanticoke. You're calling any of his numbers that are available. And it's number of attempts per number. Hello, who just signed on? Hey Glenn, how's the continuing ed going?
Good. I got 3 more sections and I'm done.
All right, cool. Cool.
Yeah, I'd finished the first section of the last course. I got 3 more modules or whatever units.
All right,
I'm
cool.
done.
All right, good deal. Good deal. Yeah, so I'm going over the way we're doing call spreadsheets from now on. Instead of sending big lists to everybody and kind of I lost all control over who was calling what, I'm going to give everyone a block of 100 names. And when you're done with 100, you come back for more. And you'll keep your first 100 and we'll add to that list. And you'll say who talked to, number of attempts. Now they give many phone numbers. So I'm not quite clear exactly how we want to use number of attempts, but like I don't care which phone number you reach the person on. So it's how many attempts per person, per deal. When did you last talk with them and what were the notes? Or when did you last talk or try? I guess that should probably say talk or try.
Yeah, try would be also a good thing since you're going to get a lot of hangups and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. So somebody else just beeped in here. Alex, you're coming in. It says device not connected, so I hope you're out there somewhere. If not, use the YouTube channel. You don't need to log in. There's no passwords. There's no nothing. Just whatever. So on the spreadsheet, you're going to fill in. And so, the first day you'll say, I tried once. The second day I tried twice. Whatever. When did you last talk? And literally you're going to do that line by line. You've got you got email addresses you can try. Lots of email address data. You got phone number data you can try. And the routine is going to be, I'm going to add one per day for a week, 3 per week for 2 more, 1 per month after. So you call them once a day for a week, call them 3 for a week for 2 more, you call them 1 per month after. Real simple. And that's what you're going to be doing to make your calls. I don't care if you use batch leads. I don't care if you use whatever tool you want. On batch leads, when you're talking to somebody, remember, before you start talking to anyone, you're going to go into here and you're going to open up the script. You're going to go into here. You're going to open up the questions so that you have a way of collecting. The other thing you're going to do, and I'm going to open it up here and I'm going to make it a link, is I want you to use this document. I'm going to put this on the menu. And this is the document you are going to fill in for us when you're talking to a seller. First thing you're going to do, make a copy. Name it seller, name it your name, property, name, seller, name, date. Make it a copy and then fill in this copy. And this copy goes into your form when you submit the form to us. And this copy goes into the email when you email it to us. The point is, this document here contains all the questions we normally ask. You may not know all the answers, but I got to be honest. I get a lot of people say, well, I submitted the form, but I didn't do the Zillow, the Google, the Gmaps, and whatever. And I say, why? It's one thing if you ask a seller the question and they won't answer it. It's one thing if the seller doesn't know the information or whatever. You forget to ask them. But these public data things are not things that there's any limitation on you getting. The comps from batch leads are not, there's no limitations on you getting them. So there's no reason that you're submitting a form without batch leads comps. There's no reason you're submitting a form without Google and Zillow and everything else. There's just no reason for it, because before the call, after the call, during the call, you can go and get this information. And by batch leads comps, what I mean literally is, here's a property, boom. Odd picture for a property, and it's worth way more than $4,000, but okay. PDF this. PDF this comparables page. You can make the adjustments if you know how to. You want sold and pending, you want sold only, not sold and pending. And then you hit filters. PDF the results. You can get fancier. Batch Leads has lessons on how you can get fancier. You can download actions like download, export the list, but at the very least, you're PDFing this. And you're looking and you're saying, okay, the subject property is 1,700 square feet on 2 acres. What looks similar down here? I can tell you in this particular neighborhood, there's nothing similar to the property. This particular property is better than any neighborhood. The point is, you're giving us that information. And you're uploading that PDF to the emails, you're uploading that PDF into the form. Because when you do the form, remember, and I'm kind of jumping around here, but I know we've covered this a lot, is when you're doing the seller form, there's places to put uploaded documents. So what you're doing is you're on the phone with the seller, you're going through the questions, you're then filling out this sheet, your copy of this sheet, and then you, after the call, you're not trying to fill this sheet out while you're on the call. You're taking notes in whatever scratch pad, notepad, whatever you use. Then you're putting it in here. You're doing the batch lead. You're doing the Zillow, the Google, the everything else. You're putting it in here. And then you're also putting it into the form. So it comes to us through the form. It comes to us because you email us this and the other uploads. That means you're also going through and you're doing Find Your Flood Zone. There's no reason you're not giving that information. There's no reason it's like, hey, I talked to Billy Bob. He thinks his house is okay and he wants $1 million for it. Well, what did you find out in your public research? Oh, I didn't do that yet. Okay, if you didn't do that yet, then we don't know what, then we have nothing to talk about, to be perfectly honest. Because if you're calling to have me, which I very often do, and I'm going to stop doing it. And I'm not at all upset. I'm just saying that if you're calling and I say, okay, well, let's jump on batch leads now and do it. The challenge is that I need you guys to collect this information. It speeds everything up. Because what I do is I swing in and analyze the deal. You guys, please run all of this stuff is public data. Please run it, get it in the form, get it in the sheet, get the sheet to me and Ryan. The form automatically comes to me and Ryan. Then we have a place to start. If you have any questions on how to do that, again, I'm always here to call. Also, I don't know who of you saw yesterday, but we added on resources, we added a helper GPT. And this helper GPT is designed to be just that. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stuck. Got a seller on phone. Now what? And it will tell you. Now, I think this requires a paid GPT account. If you don't have a paid GPT account, let me know. I'll give you my password, because it shouldn't require a paid GPT account. But if it does, I've run into that before. So it walks through everything. So this GPT is really pretty powerful for that purpose. So a couple actually good things happened that I wanted to bring to your attention. Oh, before I do that, we also have another section we just did not just add, it was always there. Get Deal Funded. And Get Deal Funded talks about our lending practices. I can give you these flyers. We can put our logo on these flyers. We can do whatever the hell we want. We're white label for all these companies. But if you go here, somebody wants to get funding on deals. This is the walkthrough of what that is. And all you have to do, okay, so on unsecured lending, you want to put your team name in here as well, so we know who's referring it. I'm going to add a team field right now. But these are the questions we need to do for unsecured. Unsecured is a line of credit. It's a credit card. It's a business loan based on their personal credit. We get like, I don't know, $300-500 per. But here's the thing, it's easy. It's literally have them fill out the form. The form comes, have them fill out the form, it gets submitted, it comes to me, it goes to the referring company. You take the information down as well. You can give them the form if you want. But if you're doing it, you're taking the information as well, and you're doing the exact same process. You're sending it to me, sending it to Ryan. The point of sending it to me and Ryan is I don't yet trust our automatic routing of the forms, so I don't want it to run a risk. But basically, they fill this in, and a period of time later, the person either gets the loan or doesn't, and we get paid or we don't. There's no other work once this form is filled in. So once this form is filled in, there's no other work. It's off to the races. We're done. Under asset-based lending, which is everything else, which is by asset-based, it means it's backed by real estate. You've got a bridge loan program, which is short-term acquisitions with planned exit through sale or refinance. Basically, longer than a double close, something like a prehab or a whatever it might be. We have bridge loan, we have renovation programs, we have ground up, and we have rentals. Rentals being DCR. All of that is this. It's a much more complicated form. Okay, and you're probably going to want to walk them through it because it is a much more complicated form. And it's not all information must be had, but it is in this case fairly complete needed. We're going to have these are some of the questions we're going to have to collect to get started. And what happens here is then this form gets sent to you, and you're going to follow up with them and get whatever else is needed. Your job in that equation, because this is a little bit more hands-on, is the company's going to say, hey, listen, here are the 9 other things I need. You gave me 6 of the 15 I needed. Here's the other 9. And you're going to go and fetch the other 9, go back. You're basically the ping pong ball. What happens then is the form. So you fill this out, it comes to me. I send you back for what I clearly see we're missing. And then finally we submit it to the company, and then the company sends us further questions. At some point, the company takes over directly communicating with the borrower, but we're still in the plug, and we get 1 to 1.5% per deal, and then we split that. So on a $100,000 deal, we get 1,000 to 1,500, and we split it. But again, it's not that hard. The beautiful thing about selling money is you say, I have money to loan, and people want your money. It's just the way it goes. I got Connor actually cold calling. I said, listen, cold calling is more important than these calls. These calls are here, they're on video, they exist. Now, the last thing I wanted to cover today, and then I'll get to anybody's questions, is we have a couple deals going on, and these deals came to us a little bit unusually. And this is the power of referrals. Okay. Connor has a cousin or some such in Ohio. That guy wants to be a wholesaler. There's two options here. That guy can join our team and work under Connor or work as a referral agent for Connor. And in that case, Connor never has to talk to him, never has to do anything with him, and Connor gets 5%. Or Connor can bring him into his team, and then I pay Connor and Connor pays this guy, and they figure out how much gets paid. Don't care. And then the third thing that has to happen is, or could happen, and is happening in this particular case, is the guy already knows what he needs to get for the property. He already has it all figured out. So we're coming on as a JV to find a buyer. Great. So we just sent the guy a contract saying, here's how we're going to work together, da-da-da-da. Boom, boom, boom. Sale happens, the guy gets this, we get that, so on and so forth. All of that is to say this: leverage your network. Let people know in your town, hey, have you ever made $500 in 5 minutes legally? No. Well, if you bring me a house, the person who was motivated to sell their house, I can pay you $500 on closing for that lead when it closes. Or if you, okay, I don't need money then, I need money now. Okay, I'll give you $50 for the lead. If I talk to the person and they're ready to sell, I'll give you $50 to $100 right now. Forget it. Done. Leverage your network. This is how Connor found this deal. He was whatever conversation with his friend or cousin, and hey, I do have a house. From there, the process never changes. It always comes back to the form. Well, not that form. It always comes back to the form. So the process never changes. But the reason I brought those deals up is because they're another way to get deals. You're reaching out to your network. He's playing his cousin. He's playing whatever that is. Oh, Glenn, you kind of slipped off there. But anyway. So that's great. Work your network. I have bandit signs. I have postcards. I have lots of other stuff I can send you. If you want, I mean, Glenn, if you want me to meet you somewhere or bring over the postcards to you, you can. And I know you challenge computer-wise right now, but you can print out labels and stamps, or you can handwrite addresses on them and put stamps on them. Go for it, and that's great. If you want to market to whatever, that's great. Now, back to the list that we're going to be sending everybody. We have mailing addresses. You want to send postcards to these, go for it. You want to send emails to these people, go for it. Be a little careful with text messaging. That's a little bit different. But, you can text it from your phone. There is some legality there, so be careful. But at the first sign of trouble, just say, oops, we'll delete you. But the point is, there's lots of information here. We're providing lots of resources. And you have ways of making money on lending and everything else. The deal analysis and everything else follows finding a deal. Bottom line, it does.
I didn't hear that part.
The deal analysis in all cases follows finding a deal. If you don't have a seller, there's nothing to analyze. And the last thing that I'm going to say on that is that somebody has come to me a couple times and they're like, oh, I've run batch leads. I've run this. I've run that. I've run that. Now let's go see if we can talk to the seller. And I said, that's backwards. It's good to know a little bit about your neighborhood, maybe, but since 90% of the people or 60% of the people are not going to answer the damn phone, don't spend 20 minutes researching a property, then making a phone call. Zip through 100 phone calls in an hour. or whatever number that is, 20 calls in an hour, whatever that actually turns out to be. When you get a seller on the phone is the time you start researching the property, not the other way around. Because otherwise, all you're going to do is research all day.
Makes sense.
It's really about getting out there and getting in front. And Glenn, again, because you're local, I can give you some bandit signs if you want to walk up, put them on telephone poles and stuff. Just we can go. You and I can talk about that, guys. I can give them to you too, but I know some of you are far away, and frankly, shipping bandit signs is more expensive than just ordering your own, basically. Also, nobody reached out to me on my call yesterday. I don't know if anybody's even watched the video yesterday, but if you want to contribute into a live call center, let me know. We did just start making AI calls yesterday. I will say it was not the most successful. The system gets hung up on as quickly as a regular person does. But in any case, we've started the AI calls. We're going to see where that goes. So Glenn, I guess you're the one on the call right now that I know of. Does anybody have any questions?
Well, pretty much straightforward.
All right, cool. Then I guess I'll see everybody tomorrow. Please call me if you get any deal opportunities, and we'll go from there. And by the way, we did get a call yesterday. This is an inbound call. We did not solicit this. And the reason I'm saying that is because I'm always talking about don't go after a property that's already advertised. And this guy had just dropped his realtor, just dropped his licensee. And he had it listed for $4.25. He's like, I want $390. I said, you're not getting it from me. I said, what I'll do is I'll do an escalation clause with you. Long story short, we got it for $270. That's how desperate he was to get it out. $270, anything over $285, we 50-50. He hasn't signed yet. He said he would, but he's not signed yet. But the point is that we're not afraid of. I mean, this house is beautiful. Everything is done to it. There's not a damn thing wrong with it. He just needs it gone more than anything else. So what I'm saying is we don't just do ugly houses. We can do pretty houses. We can do self-storage houses. We can do mobile home parks. Anything that exists, we can do. If it's dirt, if it's businesses, we can do it. All right, keep going, Glenn. Keep going on the training and the CE. For all, you guys who are licensed, I know there's only a few of you who have your license. Renewals are due May 31st. Therefore, you have to have all your CE. And if you're a realtor, there's more CE. If you're just a licensee, there's one set of CE. If it's your first renewal, Will, I think I'm talking to you. You have a different package of required CE. Everyone just go to ceshop.com, theceshop.com, I think. And they'll have continuing ed packages, and they'll have a first-year continuing ed package for Pennsylvania. Choose the right state. It's different. You got to have it renewed by May 31st. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.